I did not kill my mother, so you won't kill me, Ndidi said to the baby in her womb in pain. Didi had been pregnant with her second child for more than 9 months. Instead of the usual 9 months of normal delivery, she was 13 months pregnant. Along with it, she experienced constant severe body pain, waist pain, vomiting, and discomfort. After trying everything she could to induce her pregnancy, the baby still refused to come out. She sought the help of midwives and local herbalists, but no herbalist or midwife in the village could help her deliver this child. After 14 months, she finally went into labor, but it was a painful ordeal lasting 24 hours before the child was born. Because of what she had endured during her pregnancy, she named her child Ofo, which means pain in Igbo. Ufu grew up like every other girl in the village, but was constantly met with bad luck, disappointment, and hatred from people. Unlike her elder sister Uju, who everyone liked without hesitation. In fact, aside from her family, no one had ever given her a gift or complimented any good deed she had done in her life. Whereas for her elder sister Uju, praises and gifts were almost on every day of her life. Often in pain, Ufu questioned her mother why she had given her such a name, fearing it might be the cause of her unfavorable life. But her mother brushed her off and said, "Don't be silly, you're just overthinking. There is nothing wrong with your name." Years went by. Ufu approached 30, yet no man befriended her, let alone talked to her or showed interest in marrying her, despite her good looks and pleasant personality. Out of frustration, her mother arranged for her to marry a 65-year-old man who already married with 2 wives. Even in her old husband's house, it was as if she was insignificant. The man paid little attention to her and only needed her when it was her turn to perform her wife's duty. After 9 months of marriage, Lux married Olofo and she got pregnant. Even though she was constantly ignored and unloved by her elderly husband, Ufu felt lucky once in her life when she gave birth to a baby boy. She adored her child so much and used him to cope with all her life's predicaments and the way she was unloved and treated in her husband's house. But this happiness only lasted for 2 months. One morning, Ufu woke up to find her 2-month-old baby lying lifelessly beside her. In fears, tears and shock, she called the attention of her husband and co-wives. Her husband called the popular village herbalist, and after examining the dead child, he simply said, "Iba." He had Iba, meaning he had a fever. Iba? How? He had been a healthy child since he was born. Even last night there was nothing wrong with him. I bathed and fed him myself. The fool said in tears. "Are you trying to teach me my work, woman?" The herbalist snapped and stormed out of the room in anger. The full world was shattered. Why? She kept asking herself. Her husband and co-wives and everyone around her began to insult her, calling her an irresponsible mother who didn't know her child had a high fever that resulted to his death. With a broken heart and uncontrolled emotion, she ran to the village riverbank with a bottle of rat poison. At that spot, she drank it all, ending her life. When she drank the poison, she slumped immediately, but after some minutes, she woke up and found herself following an old man with grey hair along a lonely road. But then, the old man turned around and scolded her, asking why she was following him. "What are you doing here? Did I tell you to follow me?" he shouted at her. Ofu pleaded, "Please, let me go with you. I don't want to go back home. There is nothing left for me there." He snapped at her. "Are you silly to follow everyone you see? Go back, it is not yet time," the man said and walked away. What does he mean by it is not yet time? Ofu wondered as she watched the old man walk away. She shrugged. This was another one of the day rejection she faced from everyone in the village. Even an old man who didn't know her now hated her. Feeling rejected once again, she began to walk back sadly from where she had come, lost in thought and sadness. She hadn't reached the bank of the river when she heard people mourning and lamenting. Curious, she went to see what was going on and was dazed to see her lifeless body lying on the ground at the spot where she had taken the poison. Her mother and sister were crying over her lifeless body. She tried to call her or draw their attention, trying to make them realize she wasn't dead, but no one could see or hear her. It dawned on her that she was a wandering ghost, unable to find rest. After days of wandering around the village, trying to see if anyone could see her, she gave up and began her journey to another village. Weeks passed as she walked endlessly, not knowing her destination. Finally, she sat down by the roadside, contemplating her devastated lifeless existence. Looking up to the heavens, she questioned the Maker through tears. What have I ever done to deserve this? Why do you hate me so much, even in death? If you knew my life would end up like this, why greet me? Yet again, there was no reply. It was as if the heavens ignored her even more. Just then, a passing woman greeted her with "Otuchoma," meaning good morning in Igbo, and walked away. Ufu was startled and dazed. Did this woman just greet me? She asked herself. Still trying to comprehend what was happening, some school children passing by stopped to say good morning. Ufu was even more dazed. She quickly rushed to them and asked if they could see her, and they replied, yes, surprised by her question, before continuing on their way to school. Ufu almost screamed for joy. She didn't understand what was happening, but she was glad. If anyone from this town can see me, then it is the best place to settle, she told herself. Immediately, she headed to the town's market, the best place to help her understand the town better. The market was large, bustling with people from different villages. After a few minutes in the town's market, Ufu found out the village name was Ukpo, which was 8 villages away from her own. She hadn't realized she has wandered so far, but now she was glad she did. As she walked through the market, she was mesmerized by the things she had never seen before in her life. For her 30 years on earth, before she died, she had never left her village, let alone seen things outside of it. She stopped at a jewel shop, admiring the beautiful gold jewelry sparkling in the afternoon sun. Of course, she had no intention of buying any, but she could only look at them freely. The way the gold shone attracted everyone who passed by. While she stood there admiring the jewelries, the elderly woman who owned the store came out. Come buy one. It will suit you perfectly, she said to Ufu. No, Ufu replied, about to walk away. I'm sorry, I was only looking. The woman laughed. Many women say that, but end up buying. Come try one. She grabbed Ufu's hand and laid her closer to the store before Ufu could refuse or leave. Ufu was really surprised the woman could touch and feel her. What is your name? The woman asked as she selected a gold necklace to try on Ufu's neck. Oh, Ufu began to say, but stopped immediately. No, not this name again, she thought to herself. This name had only brought her pain. When she was alive, she shouldn't be called by it again. She quickly glanced at the gold jewelries resting on the table and said, Oleido, my name is Oleido, which means gold in Igbo language. No wonder, the elderly gold seller said. The radiance of your name attracted me to you, and indeed, these golds were calling out to you. She proceeded to place the gold necklace on Ufu's neck. Immediately the gold jewelry rested on Ufu's neck. All the women who had been looking at the jewelries in the store rushed to her, demanding to buy a similar necklace. They praised how beautiful she looked, wearing the necklace, while she struggled to free herself from the crowd. Ufu was surprised. Nothing like this had ever happened to her before. Nobody had ever admired her in such a way. The store owner swung into action, selling similar necklaces to the eager women who wanted what Ufu was wearing. She kept selling out and constantly changed the necklace on Ufu's neck. Each time she did, more women demanded to buy a similar one. Late in the afternoon, when the crowd had left, Ufu was curious to see the beauty the woman saw in the necklace on her neck. Picked up a mirror, laying on the table, to check out the necklace on her neck, but what she saw in the mirror made her scream and drop the mirror immediately, shattering it into pieces. She had no reflection in the mirror, only a faint shadow. The store owner ran to her, asking if she was okay, without minding that Ufu had broken her mirror. "You must be really tired. Please sit," she said. "Let me get you something to eat." Ushering Ufu to a chair. "I am really sorry to have used you as a model in selling my products. It's just that I have never experienced something like this before in my 10 years in this business. It was as if the gold in this shop respected your presence and reflected on each one you wore. In fact, you don't even need a mirror to see how beautiful and radiant you look in this gold. So please forgive me. I couldn't help but sell more." "No problem," Ufu murmured, and slowly sat on the chair, still shaken by what she had seen in the mirror. Was that what ghost looks like when they look in the mirror? She thought to herself. What if someone had given her a mirror and discovered she was not a living being? What if? "Can I buy this for you?" a narrow voice said, interrupting Ufu's thought. Ufu looked up to see a tall, dark, handsome young man smiling at her. "You look very beautiful in that," he said. The man told the store owner to package the necklace Ufu was wearing and a few other ones for Ufu. The store owner did as she was told. "What is your name?" the man asked. "Oleido," Ufu said. "You have such a beautiful name," the man said, paying for the necklace and giving them to Ufu. "Please accept this from me. I was passing by and I had to stop immediately when I saw you sitting there wearing that necklace," he said, handling out the bags of necklace. "They look so beautiful on you. I couldn't help but buy them for you." Slowly, Ufu accepted the necklace, still marveled at how such a good-looking man was talking to her, let alone buying her gifts, something she had never experienced when she was alive. "Thank you for accepting the gift," the man said with a smile, and left. As soon as he left, the store owner rushed to Ufu in excitement. "That's Obinna, one of the richest merchants in Ukpo, who owns many businesses. He's a very kind man, but he is yet to marry. I heard he's looking for a wife. Who knows, you might be the one." "So you think he's going to marry me because he bought me gifts?" Ufu laughed and said. "He usually doesn't buy gifts for random women," the woman said. "Anyway, that aside, I want to discuss something with you. I want you to be my business partner. You model my goods and we share the profit. I will give you 40% and I will take 60%. How does that sound?" Ufu was dazed. What was really going on since she stepped her feet into this village and changed her name? "Are you sure about this?" "But I'm not from this village. You don't even know what or who I am," Ufu said. "What happened at my store today is enough for me to know. My instinct tells me you're a good person. It was the same instinct that told me to put the necklace on you, so I'm trusting it. Please think about my proposal. Moreover, I still have a thank you package for your service today. And let me also get you something to eat," the woman said and stood up. Immediately the woman mentioned eating, all of his full fear and worries came back. She hadn't eaten anything since the day she took her life by the riverside. She tried to call on the woman to tell her to forget about bringing anything to eat because she wasn't hungry, but the woman didn't listen to her and left before Ufu could say anything. When the woman brought the food, Ufu was worried if she could eat it, but decided to try her luck because the elderly woman was sitting beside her and looking at her. Surprisingly, she ate it like a living human being without any weird feeling or anything happening. Later that evening, while Ufo walked down the street of Ukpo with a bag filled with gold jewelries, one which was a gift from the store owner and the other from Obinna, she was unsure of where to spend the night. The elderly storewoman, who did not care where she came from, had asked her to spend the night or even live with her. But Ufo refused because she was scared the woman might discover her secret. Instead, she accepted the gold jewelries she gave her and left the store. As she walked down the road, she kept questioning herself if this new life in Ukpo would go well or if it would lead her to trouble and humiliation. But she decided to enjoy this new opportunity and never look back at the past because it seemed Hashi had given her a second life after years of sorrows. As she walked down the road, she told herself she would sell the jewelries in the bag to rent an apartment since she would be starting a new business with the gold seller. Just then, a car stopped by. It was Obinna. "Hello, Lido," he said, smiling. "I knew I would see you again." Ufo turned to see the handsome face who had gifted her some jewelries earlier and greeted him. "Do you live in this village? I don't think I've seen you here before," Obinna said. "No, I don't. I'm a visitor, but I'll be settling here," Ufo replied. Obinna offered to take her to her destination, but Ufo refused because she knew she had nowhere to stay. However, Obinna insisted. After a few minutes of persuasion, Ufo opened up and told him she hadn't gotten a place to stay yet. Obinna, without hesitation, offered her accommodation in his home. At first, Ufo wanted to hesitate, but on remembering she was already dead and nothing worse could happen to her if he was a bad man who had intentions of hurting her, she finally agreed. Upon getting to his house, Ufo was dazed. Indeed, the gold seller woman was right. Obinna was a billionaire. The structure of his house was unlike anything she had seen in the past 30 years of her living life. He gave her a mini apartment in the house, and from that moment, Ufo was living the best time of her life. After 2 months of being friends and living together, Obinna proposed to her, and she accepted. It had been 2 months of living as a human being, and so far, things had been going well. When Obinna told her he wanted to meet her people for marital blessing, Ufo hesitated and lied about not having any living relatives. She told him all her family members and relatives were dead and she was the only surviving person alive. She added that it was the reason why she left home for this distant village. Obinna never doubted her, but instead he loved her even more. Ufo gave birth to a baby girl after the first year of their marriage. She specifically named her daughter Ifeoma, which means blessing in Igbo, because she wanted her child to have a fulfilled future unlike her own. 5 years later, Ufo and Obinna's love had grown even stronger, although Obinna noticed that Ufo avoided anything mirror-related and even refused to take a wedding picture. He didn't question her because his love for her was unwavering. It seemed that with each day passing by, their love increased. Instead, he removed anything mirror-related from the house and even from the bedroom. Ufo gold jewelry business with her new business partner thrived, and they established more shops within and outside the town. Ufo became popular as a beautiful gold seller. One day, her mother and sister came to Ukpo after hearing about the famous Oleidu who sold beautiful jewelries to her customers. Many said that buying golds from her brought good luck. They claimed that she had such a good fortune that everyone who wore her gold looks more beautiful in them. And every retailer who bought from her products ended up selling them and making good profits. Ufo's sister Uju wanted to set up a jewelry retail business in her hometown to support her struggling petty business, hoping to make some profit from it. Her mother accompanied her to the market because she was her only surviving daughter and feared anything might happen to her. When they got to Igbo, it was really difficult to see the popular Oledo or even get her goods because they kept selling out as people burst in and out rushing to buy the products. After one failed week of staying in Igbo village and unsuccessfully trying to see Oledo or get her products, Uju gave up and wanted to go back home. However, her mother persuaded her to try one more last time. They decided to arrive at the store very early the next morning before anyone else came around. Despite their early arrival the next morning, the place was already crowded. Determined not to give up, Uju and her mother struggled to reach the popular seller Oledo and meet the busy buyers and sellers surrounding her. Upon seeing the popular Oledo, her mother was dazed. Her sister didn't recognize her fool because wealth had transformed her into a very beautiful woman. But her mother knew her daughter so well, even after death. She simply called her name, Ufu. Ufu froze immediately she heard her real name, which no one had called her in years. She turned to the direction where her name was called. She saw her mother and sister, but before her mother could say another word, Ufu disappeared. Everyone in the store screamed and scattered in distress, including her mother and her sister. The moral of this story is simple. Our names have meaning and they can reflect on our daily lives and shape our future. This is why parents and guardians should be mindful of the name they give their children because it is an important part of their identity. So, let me hear from you in the comment below. What do you think about this story? How do your name shape your life? Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.